Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we decode the secrets of your favorite companies. And if you think this filing is going to be perfectly straightforward, then I've got a bridge in Brooklyn to sell you. Today we're diving into an amended report from FiEE Inc. for their 2024 fiscal year. And let me tell you, it's not the usual everything is awesome announcement. Turns out there were some hiccups that needed clearing up, and we're here to figure out what really happened. Before we get into the nitty gritty, if you like getting these unfiltered looks into company findings, smash that subscribe button. You'll want to be part of our Discord too. It's in the description below, and it's where the real insider chat happens. Alright, so FiEE Inc. has filed an amendment to their annual report. This is like a do-over for certain parts of their original filing. Think of it as them saying, oops, we forgot to mention this part about our controls. Specifically, this is amendment number 2. This amendment is all about fixing up their reporting on how well they keep track of things. They've identified a problem with their disclosure controls and procedures, and also their internal control over financial reporting. Now, the good news right off the bat is that these issues didn't mess with the actual numbers in their financial statements from the original report. So the company's big financial picture for 2024, as previously reported, hasn't changed. Let's break down what these fancy terms mean. Disclosure controls and procedures are basically the systems a company has in place to make sure all the important information that needs to be shared with the public gets shared correctly and on time. Think of it as their internal communication system for reporting. Back when they first filed their report for the year ending December 31, 2024, FiEE's top brass, their CEO and CFO, said these systems were working fine. And this is a big but, folks, after that initial filing, they discovered a material weakness. That discovery led them to revisit their conclusion. So now their CEO and CFO are saying that those disclosure controls weren't effective as of December 31, 2024 because of this material weakness we're about to discuss. Now, let's talk about internal control over financial reporting. This is the company's internal system to make sure their financial reports are accurate and reliable. It's all about preventing mistakes and catching them quickly, so the financial statements you read are trustworthy. Just like with the disclosure controls, the management initially said their internal financial controls were good to go as of the end of 2024. They used a standard framework to evaluate this, the one from COSO. But again, that material weakness they found later changed their tune. So now the company admits that their internal financial controls weren't effective at the end of 2024 either. So what exactly is this material weakness? In simple terms, it means there's a problem in their system that's so significant it could lead to a big mistake in their financial reports that might not get caught in time. And what caused this big problem for F? The report points to insufficient accounting staffing during the company's restructuring and new business launch. Basically, they didn't have enough skilled people in their accounting department to handle everything properly. This led to reduced review capabilities, and they found some prior period errors which they've since fixed. The core issue was they were not able to attract, develop, and retain sufficient resources to fulfill internal control responsibilities. This lack of talent meant nobody had the right level of knowledge and experience to keep everything in check. And this problem was present all the way back on December 31, the company's restructuring and new business launch. Basically, they didn't have enough skilled people in their accounting department to handle everything properly as restructuring and new business launch. This led to reduced review capabilities, and they found some prior period errors which they've since fixed. The core issue was now for the fix. Companies are required to have a plan when they find these kinds of problems, and FiEE has laid out theirs. First up, they're going to increase accounting staffing by hiring more people with the necessary expertise in US GAAP and SEC reporting. They're also going to enhance review processes, which means tightening up how they check and approve financial transactions and entries. This involves setting up stricter internal checks and creating a formal review process for all important money movements. Plus, they're investing in training and development to boost the skills of their current finance team. Finally, they'll be doing ongoing monitoring and evaluation to make sure these changes are actually working. It's important to note here that even though they've started fixing things, the weakness won't be considered resolved until these new controls have been in place and proven effective over a good chunk of time through testing. They also mentioned that other than the steps taken to fix this material weakness, no other changes in their internal controls happened during 2024 that would have significantly impacted their reporting. Now let's talk about what's actually included in this amended filing. Since this is an amendment, They're not refiling the entire original report, just the parts that are changing and some necessary certifications. And speaking of certifications, we see here a list of exhibits that are being filed with this amendment. These include those crucial CEO certification pursuant to Section 302 and CFO certification pursuant to Section 302 of the Sarbanes-Oxley Act, which basically means the top executives are personally vouching for the accuracy of the report. They've also included certifications from the CEO and CFO required under Section 906, which are similar but carry different legal weight. Then we have a whole bunch of files related to XBRL, which is the standard for how companies file their financial data electronically. This essentially includes the main data documents, calculation link base, definition link base. Think of these as the building blocks that make their financial data link base. Think of these as the building blocks that make their financial data machine readable for regulators and analysts. And finally, Exhibit 104 is the cover page interactive data file, which is also in that special XBRL format. Jumping to the signatures, we see the actual filing is signed off by Levi Chung, the Chief Executive Officer, and Yu Sao, their Chief Financial Officer, Treasurer, and Secretary, along with a couple of directors. The date here is August 20, 2020, 2020, 2020, 2025, and its prior amendment on April 30, 2020, 25. And its prior amendment on April 30, 2025, and its prior amendment on April 30, 2025. So what's my take on all this? FiEE Inc. is admitting to some pretty significant internal control issues related to staffing challenges during a busy period of restructuring and launching new ventures. While it's good they've identified these problems and are implementing a remediation plan, the fact that they had a material weakness that affected both their disclosure and financial reporting controls as of the end of 2024 suggests they were operating with some serious blind spots. This points to a potential management oversight in resource allocation for critical functions like accounting. The company's direction seems to be in a state of repair and rebuild for its internal processes. The lack of sufficient accounting staff is a direct hit to operational efficiency and could have, had they not corrected it, led to misstated financials. The good news is there aren't any indications that the previous financial statements were wrong, but the underlying weakness is a clear sign of potential risk. A notable risk here is the execution of their remediation plan. Hiring the right talent, enhancing review processes, and ensuring proper training takes time and consistent effort. If they falter here, these control issues could linger or new ones could pop up. An opportunity, however, lies in their current efforts to build a more robust internal control environment. If they successfully attract and retain skilled accounting professionals and implement strong procedures, it will lead to more reliable reporting and better decision making in the future. In conclusion, FiEE Inc. is navigating a period of internal adjustment. While no actual financial misstatements were reported as a result of these control weaknesses, the existence of such weaknesses is a red flag, especially in the fast-paced world of business. Investors should keep a close eye on how well they execute their plan to fix these internal control issues. Alright, that's our breakdown of FiEE's amended filing. What do you think about their staffing issues and the impact on their controls? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video if you found it helpful and subscribe for more corporate deep dives. And seriously, join our Discord server, the link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.